What's up, guys? Boogie back again. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, support your boy. I really appreciate each one of you that clicks on my videos. All right, let's get into it.
Since this is a business, I need to know how much experience you have. So I need to know how many bodies. Is that okay to ask in this business?
No,
Oh, well, that's no, God damn it.
I'm not gonna ask you that.
You can. You can
But I'm
ask
not,
that.
because that doesn't
Right.
matter.
But this is a business. And I
Okay.
need to know your experience in this business. Go ahead, man. I'm just bullshitting.
No, I was gonna ask, because I think society, everybody, men and women, I think we pressure women to get married. And I want to know why are y'all pressuring women to do it, right? So for example, before I was engaged, my lady would go outside and people would ask her, wow, you are beautiful. Why aren't you married? Right? My question is, when you ask a random woman that question, and you don't know her, you don't know anything about her, why are you asking her that? Are you asking her that for the purpose of you need some financial security? You need some status? What are you what are you saying that that woman is missing? And why are you asking her that question? S- So none
My
of y'all ever asked a woman that question? And none of y'all ever seen a beautiful woman say, "Why ain't you married?"
Yep, they ask it all the time. Keep going. Keep pressing, dope.
I want to know, like, what are the reasons that y'all ask? Because I think that you're asking that question because
I think you
a
should
lot
probably
of
ask
women.
that, Mont.
You can ask the chat.
They ask all the time. That's the first thing they hit you with. That's why you're not married.
What's wrong with you?
That's their comeback.
That's an insult. They're not really inquiring. They typically are saying there's probably something wrong.
Right, but what is
It's not always an insult. A lot of times it's like it's like a man like weigh in of like, dang, well, it's like dirty macking. Like he ain't put a ring on you yet. You tall, beautiful woman. Like you ain't got one. Like what's wrong with him? You know, like whenever people ask her that, it always gets directed back to me. like nigga, like what you waiting for? You don't even know this woman, but like what you like. But they're like, what are you waiting for? Pretty much. And I would argue that a lot of these people are telling these women that you need the security and you also need the status associated with being married.
So
and
I don't know about that.
You with it.
So I'm gonna be honest. The only time I've ever seen a woman ask another woman that is on social media.
Exactly.
Only on social media, not in real life. Like, cause I'm not worried about your household type of thing. So that's not a question that I've ever. So I have asked that question on social media, but only to be passive insult, like to be passive aggressive and to be insulting. Especially if I'm debating, like on social media, on my platform, 100%.
But yeah,
You
but
know,
even with
but
the
not
insult,
in real life. I think there's a difference between having a conversation in in real life than on social media, and we tend to actually like mend the between the two. Like you'll take what's happening on social media and then attempt to apply it in real life. It's just not the way that it is in the real world. Like in real life, where I don't really believe that we're just walking around asking women like, "Oh, why are you not married?" That doesn't make
Naomi,
sense.
beautiful women are berated by this question.
Yep. Often actually. It happens in real life. It typically
yeah,
is
yeah.
because my assumption is that women, especially beautiful women, get default. They're a good person. I mean, Mont can probably attest to this. He can
No,
probably attest to this. When you date beautiful women, they don't know what kind of demon she has, but they just assume because she's attractive, she's awesome. This is just blanketed. It used to happen all the time. I mean, how long you been with her? It's been 3 years. All you can put a ring on it. You don't know what crazy I got to deal with this heifer. Like, you just see the aesthetic. Like, no, like, don't come and check on my, like, she's here. I'm training her. I'm working on her. But women generally do get this question, especially in small circles, around family venues, co-workers. If she's at the same job for a while and she got the same dude, yes, she's gonna get that question. Because
no, I don't think they ask them why they're not married. They mostly ask beautiful women why they are single. Because remember, as a beautiful woman, men have been hitting on her since she was 18, sometimes even still in high school. So you're telling me you're 40 and beautiful and you're still single? Clearly you're the issue. Because at some point in your life, she must have met a good guy. At some point in her life, she must have met a rich guy, a tall guy, whatever type of guy she wanted, because she's beautiful. She's going to attract all types of men. But if you meet a beautiful woman and she's still single at 40, 35, 30, 55, and she's still single, but men have been hitting on her, clearly she's the issue, if we're going to be honest. Because unlike men, women just sit down and then the men approach them. As men, we have to approach, so we get rejected. As women, they get all the men approaching them so they can choose and select who they want and who they don't want. If she's still single, she's the issue. That's why people ask beautiful women, not even just beautiful women, all women, why are you still single at 40 or at 35?
Because women by default, you're a woman, you're awesome. No, you're not. Half the time these heifers is immature. Half the time they haven't been trained to be wives. Half the time they selfish as hell. And they never ask, how is that man being treated? Ever. They don't even care. It's the fact that you got a woman. That's it. It happens in real life. Quite often, actually.
Go ahead, Bo.
Wait, hold on. I need to point something out. The way you have infected True with this heifer word, I don't appreciate it. True was so sweet and respectable, and he has infected True with this word heifer. And I will never forgive you.
He ain't the only one.
Go ahead, Bougie.
Could I get an understanding of, that's why I haven't said nothing, because an understanding of like the topic, because I know I came in late, but it seemed like when I first came in, everybody was talking about it doesn't matter if you're married. We just want 2-parent households for the kids. So if you're with that
I
person
agree.
living in the same house long term, that's good for the kids. And then now we're kind of like talking about if the woman is married
Well, let me
and
just
why isn't she married yet?
let me just help you. You just can continue the conversation because we kind of dance around. So we just pulling some stuff from Mario and just having some conversation and just keep evolving. But the last thing True said was that he's talking about beautiful women being questioned. Dope. They said being questioned why they're not married. Have you seen this take place?
Um, well, definitely like Naomi said, it's that's a social media thing. Nobody's walking around really like just walking up to, or even like Real Dope said, like the only way that you ever really hear that is for the most part when a man's trying to like use it as a pickup line, like, oh, where's your man? Where's your husband? Why you outside being pretty and ain't nobody with you? Like that type of thing for sure. Um, but I don't know. Like I don't think that anybody should be that concerned with somebody else's like dating relationship status or whatever, especially
I mean, no one should really be concerned, but it's at a certain age, a beautiful woman who's single, and like I said, because we all know beautiful women get approached all the time and she's still single, then the issues is her, usually her crazy standards. That's why people use it as an insult or whatever you want to call it. Because why are you single at 45 and you're a beautiful woman? And we're not talking about average women because most people are average. Men are average, women are average. But we know when we say beautiful woman, she's she's a beautiful woman. For example, some of you guys may not agree, but I think Naomi is a beautiful woman. I mean, there's some makeup, but I think she's a beautiful woman. So if Naomi told me she's 35 and older and she's single, I'm going to ask her, why are you single? Clearly, men are coming, but you're still single. There's an issue.
if you're not trying to get with them. So I definitely can see how like that's really the only way that it's brought up.
I think.
Bougie,
Oh yeah, go ahead, True.
Bougie, have you ever been to a nail shop and you've heard the technicians like be like, "Oh, where's your husband?" or "How's you and your husband?" Like you've never heard that? Because I've
Yeah, that
heard it
happens.
quite
I
often.
mean,
Actually.
So as far as the nail shop goes, I feel like okay, so you also have to understand the nail shop lady isn't asking you for the same reason that the lady on that the lady on social media is asking you. The nail shop lady is asking you,
To
where's your
make
husband?
conversation.
Because if it's on your husband's card,
It's
you're
gonna be
more
more
likely to get the
expensive.
more expensive set of nails. She's gonna entice you to get more enhancements on your nails. Oh, your husband's paying for this today? You got your man's card? Okay, well, now you can afford the Swarovski crystals. Now, instead of the short nails, I can probably upsell you on the long nails. I can probably add on the $10 for the shape difference.
That makes sense.
That's where that's coming from.
Okay. Okay, I appreciate that. I didn't know. I just know I would hear
Is
it.
that what you doing? Is that what you doing too, boss?
Yes, that is, I promise you, that is definitely what she's doing.
Running it up.
But 9 times out of 10, the nails, well, no, like, because it's also like, that's the upsell for a lot of things in general, though. You got to think about it. Like, the even at a restaurant, right? The people that are at a restaurant and it's like, oh, the the man is paying, we're going to upsell you
That makes
on
sense.
get a whole bottle instead of a glass of wine.
Okay, that makes sense. So you guys, okay. So she's saying when a man goes out with a woman, instantly wherever they go shopping, for some reason they could raise the prices. So if you go with your woman to do her nails, the people who do her nails are going to raise the prices because they think the man is going to pay. So in the event, in other words, as a man, your presence means spending money because it's not her money, it's your money that they're spending. But anyway, at the end of the day, beautiful women are always going to be questioned why they're single, maybe why they're not married, especially at a certain age, because they are approached so many times. So if they still can't find a good man, clearly they're the issue. I think that's where that stemmed from. But anyway, shout out to Lapif. Let's go to the next video. Let's go to Ativa podcast.
You said the 50-50 thing is very bothersome. You think people take it to the extreme. What do you mean by that?
So I just think that there's nothing wrong with providing for your woman, even if you want to 100%. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think that 50-50 is okay too, but I think, again, like going back to what I said earlier, I think it's important to show as a man that you're consistent, that you have integrity, that you have, what it takes to, initially lead me and help me or show me what you could do, provide for our family one day.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with a man being a provider, but do you think it's the case that some women may or may not be deserving of that?
I do. I think that you should just not waste your time, then don't date those women.
Well, no, but what I'm saying here is a little different than that. I'm saying because you mentioned integrity, right? Do you think that there's some women who are lacking in integrity, thus perhaps they should not have expectations that men hold up their end of the deal as it relates to traditional gender roles?
I think that just because another person is doing something doesn't mean that you lack what you believe in as a man.
Wait, what do you mean?
So for instance, if you take a woman and you think like, oh, she doesn't deserve, or she lacks integrity, she does, let's say she does OnlyFans, like, why should I provide for her? Well, then just leave her alone. Don't go for her then. Like, but I feel like in general, you could make a woman feel safe enough to maybe stop doing OnlyFans, and to stop.
What?
Because at the end of the day,
But
like,
you do some sex work still. You used to do OnlyFans, but I see you have a Fansly.
Yeah, I have a
You have a
Fansly.
Sext Panther.
yeah, it's to where like
where
you
people can
cannot
call
text me
you.
or call me unless you pay.
But when they do text you, can they like
just started
sext
that.
with you?
Yes, but I haven't got any of those type of requests.
But
be
you do
honest.
have an account.
I just started it.
And then the Fansly, do you post nude content on
No,
there?
I don't.
Did she just say the man should help us stop doing OnlyFans and sex work? She said that. That's crazy.
I used to though.
But you post thirst traps and
I used to.
okay, and you used to do OnlyFans.
Yes,
You
but
used to do OnlyFans.
She probably still does.
But I guess my perspective here is that I agree with you. Like, if you're a guy and OnlyFans is a problem for you, then yeah,
I would delete it. Just like I'm doing now.
don't date the girl who has OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, date a woman who doesn't have OnlyFans. But what I'm getting to is, as a woman who does have OnlyFans and who's not traditional,
Like me.
are you admitting it, or
No, I just want to keep the suspense going just in case I come on a second show in the future.
I strive to be
oh, she wants to do round 2? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I do.
I strive to be
All right.
traditional, so I want that to be very clear.
Well,
I'm
we
still
can do
working
round
on
2.
stuff.
I just
Just
want to
don't
keep
be
the
high next
suspense
time.
up.
So I think if the woman has OnlyFans, regardless of what, like, men will simp no matter what. Like, a woman could be a total degenerate.
Okay.
She could be a literal prostitute.
Okay.
Like, fucking men for money.
Okay.
And have racked up, done that with hundreds or even thousands of men. And some sucker, some simp is still going to be all chivalrous and pay for dates and blah, 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 and be a provider.
But can I add in that not every and again, like, I don't know everyone's situations, but not every escort has that doesn't just because you're considered an escort doesn't mean you're fucking every man that you meet.
How are we
I just want
supposed
that
to
be
know?
Very clear. I'm not saying it's right to escort. I'm not saying it's right to prostitute.
Sure.
But
That's fine. I'm not
Like,
gonna.
I'm
There's
not
nothing to debate
saying-
there.
yeah.
But my
Like how are men supposed to know? So let's say you meet a woman who tells you she has been doing escort work for 10 years and she tells you I've been an escort but I've never slept with any of these guys. I'm supposed to just believe it because she told me? Like how are men supposed to know just because you told them you do escort work but you never slept with any of those men who paid you for being an escort? The men are supposed to just believe you and just take it for your word? Sounds to me like she just wants men to accept her the way she is, which most women want men to accept them the way they are. Even if they won't accept you because you're 5'7" and short, you're a short king, they won't accept you, but you should accept them for doing sex work.
point would be, I think a component of having an expectation on men to adhere to the masculine traditional gender roles, be a provider, be a protector, pay for dates, sidewalk rule, open car doors, these chivalrous acts.
okay.
If you're not holding up your end of the deal as a woman, while you might still get it because there are simps and suckers, I don't think you deserve it.
I agree.
Exactly.
But
You
if you're,
don't
but if
deserve
you
it.
also
And you
you're
shouldn't
trying to change,
Well,
and you're,
yeah, but
and
you
do
shouldn't expect
change.
it. I don't think these sex workers or women who are degens should expect chivalry if you're not holding up your end of the deal.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then we don't have a
I
disagreement then.
very much agree. And like I said, I'm still personally making changes that I don't even agree with even now. But
Does your boyfriend, you've been seeing him for how long? 7 years? Or wait,
No,
hold on,
no.
wait,
I've been with him for
6
about
months.
6 months.
Does he pay
I've
for
known him
dates?
years. Yes.
Do you guys live together?
Not currently.
Okay, he pays for all dates though.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, look, men,
He knows I'm not sleeping around. He knows that whatever's posted on my stuff is just me modeling and it's just me. So he doesn't
How
see
does
the
he know
wrong in that, me being, but he still has a problem with it. And we do have discussions about it. And I am working on it, but I'm also in a transition part of my life right now. I just graduated college in June. I'm coming from foster care. I'm still trying to deal with some traumas that I have. I'm not saying what I do is
Sure.
right.
Oh
I'm
my
not saying
God.
that talking to men for money is right. I'm trying to change that about myself. People that do it, I have no problem with, but I'm trying to readjust myself right now since I was
Congratulations.
living 2 lives. I was in college, you know what I mean, and then I was also doing a form of sex work. Now I start my LSAT classes and I'm trying to come off of that. I also worked for the district attorney's office before too, so
It doesn't
trying to
matter.
come off
right,
that.
yeah, I acknowledge that people are,
Guys, please don't date sex workers and try to change them. So this woman is saying she's dating a man who's trying to change her. That's why she's saying she's not changing because she wants to change, because I'm sure she likes the easy money she makes on OnlyFans and talking to men for money. But she's saying she's trying to change because of the man, because she's just gonna hate you. If the relationship doesn't work out, she's gonna blame you. And why are you trying to date a woman does sex work and you're trying to change her? Like, that doesn't make. There's plenty of women who don't do that. Guys, come on, we can't be this desperate. This is crazy.
to varying degrees involved in sex work. But again, I think if you want a man to be chivalrous, traditional, I think you have to be a lady. And I think that there's a lot of, and I think it goes the reverse. If you, as a man, if you want a woman to kind of adhere to certain more traditional gender roles, then you got to be a gentleman. You have to be doing all those things that are, more traditionally associated with traditional gender roles. I guess my issue is just the expectation seems to persist. Even women who are like super lib or sex workers or whatever,
Yeah.
there's still this expectation on men to be traditional. So you have modern women who want men to be traditional, and
Mhm.
it's
Do you
like
think that's a cry out for help? Maybe.
crap. I don't care.
We
what
don't
it
care
is.
about your whole
I'm just
cry.
looking at it like. And I don't know why it would be a cry for help. I'm just saying
Because maybe
that
some
seems like
women
a
yearn
raw.
to be.
It
Maybe
seems
they
like a
yearn to be
raw deal for
traditional.
men.
They can't be.
Sorry, what?
Maybe some women yearn to be traditional, but it's hard for them. Like there's
How?
people won't look past their past, or they won't even give
Oh.
them an opportunity or a chance. They just kind of see you and they're like, nope, write you off. They don't even give you a chance.
Yeah,
to
I'm
even,
okay with that.
You're okay.
Y'all write off men because they're short. You write off men because they're not taking you to dinner dates because they only want to do coffee dates. You write off men because they don't make six figures. You write off men because they don't drive expensive cars. What do you mean they just write you off because you're not a traditional woman, you do sex work? The moment you stop writing men off because they are not 6 feet, if you stop writing men off because they don't make so much money and drive the best cars, maybe men can reconsider.
With that?
Yeah, if a
Oh.
woman used to be a sex worker and a guy doesn't want to date her, even if she's been out of the game for years.
I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying write you off as a human, as a person. Like,
Well, now we're talking about different
like
things.
if you were sex trafficked when you were a kid, right? And say
Well,
you
hold on. Okay,
changed your
now
life,
That's
you went
different.
to college, you went, you know what I'm saying? You did what you had to
Just
do.
to be clear, the Fansley and the Sex Panther thing you're doing, you're currently being sex trafficked.
No, I'm not. I'm
Okay,
didn't
so
say
you're an
that.
active sex worker.
Yeah, because you know there's
Yeah.
a statistic that 70% of
No, that's
young girls. No, it's
There's
not.
sex traffic. That's bullshit. What does that mean? to be
That's
sex trafficked?
wait, hold up. Be open minded right now. Like, don't just cut it off like that. I'm saying what I'm saying is, if you were sex trafficked as a young girl and you went your whole life without having parents or having anything like that, there's a statistic. Wait, hear me out, please hear me
Okay,
out.
go ahead.
There's a statistic that a majority of those girls, especially coming from foster care, they go back into sex work because that's all like that's programmed in your
What's
mind
the
that you think it's okay.
percentage?
And I'm not saying that what I do right now is okay. I'm trying, like I said, I'm drifting off of
Excuses.
that. So
I think. I mean, look. I mean,
At a point, I feel like it's
I'm not saying it's
survival.
right. It's not right.
survival
It's just
perspective. like,
people,
it's
men
psychology.
survive without doing sex work. So, anyways, I mean, in response to that, I guess this idea that hold on. First, I just want a definition of what sex trafficking actually is.
Of course, yeah.
Because like women who are willingly engaged in prostitution but happen to have a pimp,
Yeah.
they're going to categorize that as sex trafficking, but
Okay.
like they're willingly being a
Respectfully.
prostitute.
Okay.
So and then like who was the person who said, well, I had an OnlyFans manager, so I was technically being
I'm not
sex
saying that.
trafficked
I'm
or whatever.
saying if you're 13 years
So-
old and you're living in
well,
a
that's-
shelter and
that's
there's
clearly
a
criminal.
grown man that comes
Yes,
into your
that's
group home
clearly criminal, but most women
and you
who
agree
are
to it, you know, that doesn't mean you're
yeah, that's terrible. But I
There's
mean,
a website.
I'm sorry, but as a
being
guy,
coerced,
yes,
is what I
men can be discerning though. So a guy who's encountering a woman who has a history of childhood sexual abuse and who was a sex worker in her childhood, that's a terrible fucking thing. But you can still be discerning as a guy and not completely be like,
trauma.
you know what? And that there's so much trauma there. Look,
Of course.
I'm gonna get canceled for this, but I don't give a fuck. People's past traumas are going to manifest and fuck your relationship up massively. You gotta curve these people who got fucking issues like that, unless that shit's really solved. Even then, there's associations there where I think it's totally fine whether you're a man or a woman.
Yeah.
If somebody's dealt with some bullshit in their past, you can be a discerning individual, whether you're a man or a woman,
Yes.
and say, I'm not going to deal with this person.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal. Like, I think it's perfectly acceptable
with you.
as a criteria for who you're
Yeah,
going to
no,
date.
I totally
I don't
agree.
want to deal with somebody who's all fucked up.
for sure. But
Yeah, because if you're dealing with somebody who has so much trauma, eventually, eventually that trauma is gonna come to you. Unfortunately, some way or another, that you guys are gonna trauma bond. You guys know what they mean by trauma bonding. So this person had a crazy childhood, maybe single parent household. You know, they were always being spanked. You know, they were poor and things like that. And then they meet somebody else who went through the same shit. Instead of meeting someone who's gonna help you come up, now you guys just trauma bonding. It's never gonna be good because eventually everyone's trauma, past trauma, if they didn't get help for it, it's going to manifest in the relationship. You know what I mean? But anyway, shout out to whatever podcast. All right, let's go to Fadi.
So girls are doing the same thing as men. Basically, we're looking at the physical attraction just like men. So why would we be any
That's
different?
all you're looking at?
No, we look for the good. We look for the good in men. We look for the good, likable qualities in men, regardless of whether they're edgy or not.
Okay, we're
Women
not
always
looking.
look
We're
for
not
good
looking for any
I think that's where
qualities
the disconnect comes
in
in,
the
though.
teenage years. We're not looking for any qualities. We're not, and that's the only reason. See, that's why I said there's a difference. Teenage girls will actively go after the bad boy. They'll see a boy that smokes, he's outside of school smoking or whatever, or doing something he's not supposed to do. They'll actively go after that.
They see it as
women
cool.
don't just go
The
after
boys,
bad
the
boy. We don't look
boys,
for bad boys.
the
We just
boys, the
physical
boys are
attraction.
not. The
We
boys are
don't
not.
look for bad boys. We just look for the attraction and hope they
No.
got nice qualities inside of that attraction.
Bad boys
That's
don't have
what
nice
most women look
qualities.
at. We don't
But
go
then-
out and say, I want to date the bad boy. No, we look
Yes,
for the
you
good
do.
qualities in that bad boy too. We look
That's
for him
true.
to be nice. We look
Nope.
for him to be supportive. Every guy we get involved with, we look for him to do that. We don't
No, you look to change the bad boy into the nice guy. That's what you do.
just walk out the door and say,
HQ.
I just want to deal with the
Hey,
bad boy.
HQ. Hey, okay, so here's the problem with this, right? And HQ, shame on you. I remember high school.
She's lying.
No,
And
shame
I
on
was
you now.
come on. I remember high school. I was a bad boy. I remember high school. And I remember who got play and who didn't. Okay, so we not gonna sit here. See, this is why men
No,
don't-
you all are making it seem though it's some funny dynamic that women are physically attracted to men.
I would love
The
to be able to finish a sentence.
Go
I would
ahead.
love to be able to finish a sentence.
So let us talk too. Okay.
No, because
She's lying.
no,
That's why she
here's
doesn't
the
want him to
problem.
talk.
What do you mean
No.
let you talk? You're the one that interrupted me.
Because we can't get in.
You've been. See, this is where the problem comes in. The
No, we're
problem-
not going to. No, we're not going to have the meta conversation. Angry Man finished the point, and HQ went interrupted. Go ahead.
No, this is where the problem is. The problem is every time, this is why men do not trust women, because every time y'all come on the internet, you're lying to try to avoid everybody revealing how goofy you are. You're goofy.
Facts.
You're goofy as hell. And what
Facts.
you do is you jump up here on the internet trying to keep the lie alive. We're literally opposites, to the point where a man will overlook a woman's behavior because of how she looks. And
That's
a
true.
woman will overlook a man's looks because of how he behaves. We're
Facts.
literally the opposite.
I have a
Literally.
question. I have a question for the guys. When was your first heartbreak?
Does that matter?
20. Self-inflicted.
Middle school.
12.
Oh,
Well,
wow,
okay.
your heart was broken when you were 12 years old.
What does
What's
that
the
to
point?
do with anything?
I thought you didn't care about women's
There is no
personalities,
point.
though.
There is no point.
It was what?
There is no point.
How would
She's
your heart be
being rude.
broken if you didn't want?
I think the biggest
Let's
disconnect
pause
is
for
that,
hold on, let's pause for a second. I'm pretty sure, and we can rewind the tape. I'm pretty sure I
She didn't make a
said
point.
verbatim that a teenage boy is just looking at the aesthetic of the teenage girl
Yeah.
until after he gets her.
So how would
And
your
then
heart be
once-
broken?
And then once he gets her, is she list? Does she?
Okay,
She has
so
ears, right?
after you get her, then you fall in
She
love
has
with her.
ears, right? She has ears, right? See, the reason why you didn't hear me say that is because you're waiting to respond instead
She's
of
not
actually
listening.
listening to me.
Mhm.
I'm going to repeat what I said again. And this time, let me finish the full sentence, and then you can respond.
All right,
I'm pretty sure that I said a teenage boy is initially looking at the aesthetic of the girl. He's not thinking about her personality until after they get together and then he gets to know her.
Okay, you
Y'all
didn't say
remember-
that. You didn't
y'all
say
remember
after
saying
her
that?
before. You just said
Do
that.
y'all
now,
remember me
but-
saying that?
He doesn't have to say it. Everyone knows it's literally common sense that usually men care more about looks than women do. Now, these days, I'm going to be honest, 2026, I think women care more about looks than men. That's why they're rejecting every man they're even rejecting men who are 6 feet. 10 years ago, women were saying they want men who are 6 feet. But in 2026, women are literally rejecting men who are 6 feet, calling them short. And we're talking about women who are like 5'4". We're talking about women who are 4'7", who are literally on that spectrum of height. But they're rejecting men who are 6 feet, calling them short because they want basketballer type of height, like LeBron James, 6'6", 6'7", for some weird reason. That's what I'm saying. I think it has started to change, that women care more about looks than men do. But initially, men have always cared about more looks than women. And then the personality comes in later.
Yes. And I'm
We can
saying
rewind
to
the
you-
tape.
And I'm
We can
saying to
rewind it.
you, I'm saying to you, women respond the same way, except we don't take physical attraction as the main factor. We look at whether he's nice, whether he has a personality. We look at all of those things when we
Nice?
get involved with men.
Right.
We just don't get involved with men because they're bad boys. We get involved with them because of other things too. But the attraction, the initial attraction, is always there too.
No,
Y'all
but
Kinda.
one second.
Y'all
One
are
second.
attracted-
One second.
y'all are attracted-
One second, please.
y'all
That
are
was not the
attracted-
original point.
y'all are- y'all
That
are
was not the original point. The original point that y'all
No.
accused him of saying was men like bad women too. Men like women with bad personalities too. An angry man replied, "No, we don't focus on that. We focus on how she looks. It's not about her being having a bad personality or a toxic personality. No man sees an attractive woman and says either she's toxic or boring. She's boring. I don't want her." That doesn't happen. That's what he said. That's the original point. So why don't you actually tackle these points? Why don't you actually say, why are men where are these men that meet this attractive woman at 12, 14, 16, 20, 25, 30, 40, and as soon as they see that she's not a bad girl or she's not a toxic girl, they said, "Nah, I don't want to fuck Amber Rose because she's a good girl." Who is this?
There-
Who is
there
this
are
person?
dudes- There are dudes, just to prove this, there are guys that would be considered normal, average, everyday guys. They're not ugly. They're not super handsome. They're just regular guys. The moment that woman identifies him as being lame or corny, she's no longer attracted to him.
Facts.
She's no longer attracted to him. So how do you explain that? I know numerous times there have been guys that a woman would see and they'll be like, "Oh, he's physically attractive. I was really attracted to him until he started talking."
So
Tell
you're
me
telling
that's why.
so you're telling me there's not guys. You're telling me there's not guys who date pretty women and then aren't attracted to them anymore once they realize they have a terrible personality.
They are there, but the difference is, if a woman finds a man she's attracted to and then finds out he's a lame, he's not like gangster, his car isn't that nice, she will cut him off right away unless he has money. The difference with men is, a man will find a woman who's attractive. He finds out she has 10 baby daddies and 1,000 kids, and he will still stay for the most part. Majority of men will stay with a beautiful woman, even if she's a single mom, even if she's masculine as fuck, even if she has bad personality, she's rude, she doesn't respect him. Even to this day, there are men in relationships, in marriages, with beautiful women who they can't stand, but they stay because the woman is good looking. Compared to women, once they find out the personality is trash, even if you're tall, you're 6'7", and unless you have money, the only difference is a woman will stay if you have money.
That's the opposite of what you said.
Are you serious?
That's the opposite of what you said, Ghosty. They're listening to you. Hey, Ghosty.
Are you serious?
Hey, Angry Man, go sign me on this. Go on. A lot of men think that a lame woman is cute. Like, you go to these anime conventions and you see these women that are semi-attractive, but that are a little bit like lame. They don't have a personality per se. A man will get a woman that is cute and has a kind of a lame personality,
quiet,
and he says,
yep.
"Oh my God, she's so cute. I'm going to have that." Right? Woman have the opposite reaction. If the man is, even if the man is attractive, like Angry Man is saying, and he opens his mouth and he's lame, y'all do the oh my God, this motherfucker is right here.
Hey, Fatty, what is it they say? You get the ick.
I've
Yeah.
literally heard guys say that there is a super hot girl that he will talk to. As soon as he talks to her, if she sounds like a fucking dimbo or she's really annoying or something, he's immediately turned off by her.
That's
He
not
could be
true.
a fucking 10,
'cause she didn't
but
give
if
him-
she's stupid
that's
and
'cause she
fucking
didn't give him
annoying, he
any.
doesn't want to
That's
be
'cause
with her
she didn't-
anymore.
That's because she didn't give him any. That was his excuse because he
Yes.
wasn't able to get laid.
That's
Okay.
That
true.
was his excuse because he wasn't able to get laid. Because look, I guarantee you, if you take that same guy with that same chick that he thought was smoking hot, and she had the nasty attitude, but regardless, or she was ditzy, but regardless, she was like, "Hey, you want to go in this bathroom and do it?" Guess what's gonna happen?
He's gonna go.
Guess what's
It's
gonna
Gonna
happen?
stay.
like it is
every
true to
time.
an extent that like there's the men and women are looking at different things. So like obviously when like the idea that men hit on women is that like 'cause they have to walk up and ask for their phone numbers and they have to like go up to the woman, though like they're looking at a woman just to see if she's attractive. That's what's going to make him go up and ask her for her phone number or ask her for a date. Whereas the woman, she's waiting to see how he asks her out. She wants to see how he drops a line or if
How he
he's
talks,
like
yeah.
if he's smart or if he has if he's
Now,
funny
Tom.
or something like that. She wants like some more personality. She wants more to it. The guy just needs to see somebody
Now,
who's
Tom, let
attractive
me-
enough, and that's enough for him to ask her out. But I do think that like there's more after that that has
Let me
to
ask you
still,
this,
like,
Tom. Let me ask you this, Tom. Let me ask you this question and be totally honest. Now, the social dynamic between the way men date and the way women date is drastically different for one very specific reason. A guy will look at a woman and he's attracted to the way she looks. He's not really worried about her personality in that moment, in the initial thing. He can get to know her and all that. He's just focused on how good she looks. Would you say that the reason why a woman is going to be more heavily focused on his mentality over his looks is because he has the ability to kill her?
Safety.
I think that it's a number of
If she
factors,
picks
but I
the
think
wrong, if she pick, what
I
I'm
think
saying
that
is,
that's
if she
obviously
picks,
part of it. But I
what
think
I'm
the main
saying is,
factor
what
is
I'm
that she's looking for like somebody who's generally the idea is that women are going to be looking
But
for
what I'm
somebody who's
saying is
capable of
that-
being like a protector or somebody who's able
But-
to like take
but
care of
what
them,
I'm
somebody who has
saying
good
is-
character, and so that's
But what I'm-
probably part of it. But
But what I'm saying is, if you're in a bar, if you're a woman in a bar, and you women can correct me if I'm wrong, if you're a woman in a bar and a guy approaches you, you're going to be paying attention to his personality traits to make sure he's not a psycho. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's true. Because women usually don't have one night stands with the nice guys. They have one night stands with the guys who have all this weird confidence and they seem like they don't care. They have that an edge to them. So that's why when you're the nice guy, she may be like, okay, yeah, whatever. She will just give you the number. But if you have that bad boy persona, like you're the type of guy who breaks rules and you don't care, that's when one night stands come into place. But the nice guy, she's gonna make you wait for 90 days. So it's true. They care about personality for some reason. Like he said, obviously safety, number one, but number two, but who's safer than the nice guy? Because clearly nice guys that's okay. You know what? I don't even agree with the safety issue. Because nice guys are the nicest person, the safest person, but they still don't want them. They still go with the guys who break rules and shoot guns. So I don't really think women care about their safety, honestly, now thinking about it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so the point that I've been trying to make this entire time is that we as men, one, we don't have to focus on that. We don't have to focus on that. Dudes date chicks that are psychos all the time. All the time. And the reason why they're willing to do it is you could ask a guy like, oh my God, she's crazy. Why are you talking to her? And he'll be like, look at her.
I like
Yeah.
crazy chicks. Though.
Big
It's-
booty.
Look at her. Look at her. Like,
Yeah,
Big ass.
this is what I'm saying. Some guys are attracted to the toxic, crazy chicks,
no.
though. This is like a
They're
common
not-
Some
trope.
men
No,
love fat
they
woman.
just don't
Of
care.
course,
Why
she has to be
not?
attractive too, but like
dudes
And-
don't.
and
some guys
men
like
love
crazy
women.
chicks.
Some men love 300-pound woman, 600-pound woman. That doesn't disprove the point that men love attractive women or women
This
that
is
are
a
in
trope.
shape. Huh?
So doesn't that
It's
say
still a trope, just as much as
No,
women liking.
Ghosty. This is we have to talk we have to talk with each other in the same language, right? You will always find in nature somebody that does something
The exception.
men like their balls stomped by dominatrix, right? That doesn't prove that most men like that. There's
When
a
I
very
say
small
trope,
no,
when
but
I
yeah,
say
there's a
trope, I'm saying
there's a
it's common.
yes, but there's a very small niche of men. If you go to men in mass, 100 men, and you say you want to marry a peaceful woman or you want to marry a toxic woman, most men would not reply like Tom. Most men will say, "Give me the peaceful woman 1,000 times out of 1,000." That's what we do. We understand that there's fun woman that we are with them for a very short period, and we understand that's actually the woman that we kind of like and we love and will die for them, which is the peaceful woman, the woman that is taking care of your kids, is being respectful and all that. Just because Tom likes a toxic woman doesn't that mean that most men will actually go for her. He understands he's on a minority. Isn't that fair?
Yeah, will most men prefer peaceful women? Yes. But the truth is, most men, and I'm going to say 95%, and I'm being generous with 95%, it should be like 99.9. 95% of men will choose a beautiful woman with a big ass, for those of you guys who like booty, or a beautiful woman who's skinny, for those of you guys who like skinny women, who's toxic but gives him the punani, over a peaceful woman who he doesn't find attractive and she's not toxic. I'm going to say that one more time. Most men will choose a beautiful woman with a big ass who's toxic over a peaceful woman that they don't find attractive. Because if he's Mandingo isn't going to get up, what's the point? I'm going to be honest. That's the truth. Now, eventually, maybe when he's 85 years old, he may choose a peaceful woman because he doesn't care about his Mandingo going up. So then maybe.
Well,
I don't see the difference. Go ahead.
You don't see the difference?
No, let HQ go. You're never gonna.
No, I was going to address a different point. You all made it seem as though women date bad boys, so they're going to look for the bad boy. But isn't the argument that Angry Man just made undercutting that whole thing? You say we go for bad boys, the toxic guy, the guy that's all, the troll guy. That's not true. Just like Angry Man said, we have to figure out whether that person has a bad personality, there's badness to him, there's something that will bring danger to us. We are always looking at that. So no, we do not go for the bad guy. It's a part of an attraction. No.
That was clever. That was clever.
Exactly.
That was clever. That was clever. It was clever that you did that. But as I stated before, y'all are goofy. And I'll give you a prime example. If I were to walk up to you, HQ, if let's say me and you were in a relationship, HQ, let's say that we were at a Christmas party, right? And I walked up to you and just started choking the shit out of you. You'd be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Get your hands off of me. Why are you doing that? But if we in the bedroom, I can choke the shit out of you. So the reality is that y'all try to find a happy medium. So when I said you're trying to make sure the dude isn't psycho, that has nothing to do with him being toxic. Those are two different things. You can be toxic and not be psycho, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
That is too extreme.
So don't try to do that, because you know what I'm talking about. You want the guy that's gonna go right to the edge of being
But
psycho,
not all the way, yeah.
but not go over the cliff. And that's how y'all be getting in trouble, because you be getting with the guy that's toxic and you think he won't take it all the way there.
And
you
then he
think he
does.
won't go full psycho. And then when y'all relationships start going bad and he go full psycho, you're like, I can't believe he did this. What was the clue? The fact you met him in a bar and he was beating the crap out of somebody and you found it sexy?
But we do not specifically go for the bad guys. We do not
You
do
do.
that.
HQ, y'all date drug dealers. Wait, HQ.
Yeah, but we
HQ.
still
The
look
guys,
for kindness. We still look for support. We still look for people who
the guys in high school that y'all went after was the class clown that didn't do his work in class, the guy that got to fighting in the locker room or got to fighting in the hallway, the guy that was smoking cigarettes or weed in the bathroom that's out there where the football field is at. All of the bad boys. Y'all did not go for the guys. Y'all did not. Yo, check this out. No, hold on. Y'all
Hold on, wait.
Y'all did not. Wait a minute. Y'all did not go for the guys. You did not go for the guys that were at lunch playing Magic the Gathering.
I understand what you're saying.
Exclusive though.
Stop.
Doing that is not mutually exclusive from a nice guy.
To HQ's point, the most attractive part is when these bad boys treat specifically you nice. That
See, that's the thing. They're attracted to the bad boy. But what happens is when they meet the bad boy, they try to turn him into the nice guy. They want the bad boy to act. They want the bad boy to do the things the nice guy does for her. So, the nice guy is going to bring the flowers on the first day, going to take her to an expensive restaurant, is going to call her in the morning, going to call her at lunchtime, going to call her before she goes to bed, going to send her good morning, baby, good morning, beautiful, how was your night? I dreamt about you, going to send her money, going to send her flowers at work, going to pick her up. The nice guy is going to plan dates, romantic candles. The nice guy is going to do all those fantasy things they watch in movies. But they're not attracted to it when the nice guy does it. They want the bad boy, the one in the streets, walking with guns, shooting, committing crimes, doesn't listen to authority. They want him to turn into the nice guy. They want him to do the things the nice guy does, but still have the bad boy persona.
It makes you feel
That's what he
super
said.
special. Okay,
That's what he said. He said, y'all going to get these guys that are dangerous and mean to everybody, but they are nice to you, and you are going to be so close to the edge that then when these motherfuckers start to act like them with you, now you mad because it's what it is. And by the way, respectfully, hey, 1 second, Bob, just 1 second. I'm going to play this, right? Y'all are full of shit, man. I understand what's going on.
I never denied that women
No.
went after bad boys. I'm just saying that guys do the same thing, and then they
Guys
end up in
don't.
a crazy situation with a crazy chick, and they're like, "Wow, I wonder why she ended up doing this to me." And it's you ignored the signs because she was hot.
Yeah, but that's the difference. Men will ignore the signs of a toxic woman if she's beautiful, but they're not attracted to the toxicity. The difference is the women are attracted to the toxicity. It turns them on. For the men, it's the toxic woman's big ass and beautiful face that turns them on. That's why when she's toxic, he just wants to calm her down and bend her over. That's the difference.
See, you saying men do the same thing doesn't deny what women do. You say women don't do that.
Yeah, and I never denied it.
And you say women don't do that, and then you flip it to men do the same thing. You have to.
I
pick
never
a
said
lane.
women don't do that. I said women are attracted to bad boys when they're young. Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this, right? I'm going to play this, and shout out to Lucky for joining the panel. And then I need to get Roses, please. Please, Rose. Rose, be quiet. We have to read the super chats, and then we go back to the show. Okay? Listen to this.
And HQ definitely dated
for women, and
no, she didn't. She was a kept woman. Let's go to the video, please.
I have this much respect for women, and I was liking this girl in Tam. She told me I was too nice. I couldn't believe it.
We don't learn. This is a great example of what women do. This man was a actor, and he was nice, and he was a feminist, and he was awesome, and he loved women, and nobody gave him play. As soon as he flipped into the meanest mother on the planet, everybody, so sexy, look at him.
Like, and they was throwing their draws at him. He couldn't. He had to beat him off with a stick. He couldn't.
Listen, like
I still don't see the difference.
like the question is, and like he literally is saying, like there's a moment in Tupac live that he says, like just a year ago I was in this nightclub and I couldn't get no play. I was too skinny. I was too this. I was too that. They would give me no play. And the same woman on the same nightclub, they can't even be next to me without me. He's the same person. once again is the prototype. You know why a lot of times men become bad men? Because they understand that's what women want. They will go towards the nice
Facts.
route. Oh, I'm going to buy her flowers and I'm going to be nice. And then they will see a picture on Instagram of that woman saying, Miss and Miss, Mr. and Miss such and such and such. And they go look at the profile of the dude, and the dude is nothing has nothing to do with nice. And now I'm a hunter. I'm trying to get the gazelle, and I keep missing and failing, and I'm a lion, and Scar is getting all the woman. Mother Scar. I'm Mufasa trying to get woman. I get nothing.
Yeah, Fatty, that is what she's saying. That she's saying that Ghosty's saying that like the bad boy stereotype is something that's attractive, especially when he seems like he's a mean guy, but then he's nice to her. That makes her
Yes.
special. It makes her feel
Yes.
special, and that's something that is
So,
like
yes, Tom.
especially
But the
attractive.
flaw in
Yeah, but 90% of the time, the bad boy is not even nice to her. That's the thing. They try to change the bad boy into the nice guy, but 90% of the time that doesn't happen. If they found him a bad boy, he's going to remain a bad boy. That's what we are saying. They are attracted to the traits of him being a bad boy, but they try to turn him into the nice guy because, you know, people are going to be asking them, why are you attracted to the bad boy when there's a nice guy here? What they have to say is, there's a bad boy, but he treats me nicely, because that's the excuse for being attracted to a bad boy. The difference with men are not attracted to the toxic or bad girls. No, they're just attracted to their beauty.
One second, Rose. This is the last question, and Rose gets interrupted. I'm sorry, Rose. Tom, give me the same for a man. You have this woman that was a beautiful woman when she was young. And she was a good girl. She was a nice woman. She was a respectful woman. And man was giving her no play. And as soon as she became a baddie, and when I say baddie, it's not on the physical traits, it's become a toxic woman. Men were like, oh, I wasn't going with her just because she was beautiful, but it was boring. But now she's toxic. I want her. Who
No
is
man
this
says that.
person? Who is this woman?
I don't.
No man says that. In fact, most men know. I'm sure you guys, most men have done this. You know, eventually, as men get older, eventually they realize, they see other women they treated nicely. They either broke up with them, they didn't care for them, they didn't give them a chance, they took them for granted. But the women you least cared for are the ones who cared for you. It's crazy how the psychology works the opposite way. But once a man sees that, you mean to tell me, if I act like a bad boy and I act like I don't care, she wants me. But if I act like I care and buy all the flowers and do all the nice things for her, then she doesn't like me. Once a man experiences those two differences, he's never going to be a nice guy again. Anyway, shout out to Fadi. This was a good show, man. Link down below. All right, next video. Let's go to Lapif. 1 second. Let's go.
Honors that a man can bestow onto a woman is the title of wife. Not every woman wants to be a wife, but they cannot become wives on their own. Somebody needs to ask, right? Now, on the other side of that, one of the highest honors that women can bestow onto men is the title of father. Not every man wants to be a father, but they cannot become fathers on their own. Now that we understand that both of these things are of very high value, ladies, I'm going to need us to raise our standards, because I'm seeing a lot of kids and not a lot of engagement announcements. And that is never something I will advocate for, especially when that saga typically ends with you all coming online to complain to us that the father isn't doing enough, when in reality, he probably didn't want to become a father. And we know that he didn't want you to be his wife. So most of us don't want to hear it. Like, I don't. Y'all got to stop just trusting these men at their word that he said he was going to be around. If he really wanted to, he would have asked you to marry him. And we all know that. Apparently, except for you.
One, I personally am tired of hearing people's feelings about such a complex situation. Yes, she could be right, and she could also be wrong. I think that people think that way about everyone's situation way too much. And it gets annoying because they make these blanketed statements just because they see a woman that's a single mother they don't know their woman's situation. They just see a mother and kids, and the father's not there. Automatically, she chose wrong. Automatically, she did something wrong. It's always the woman doing something wrong. And I really
That's
get
not true.
exhausted
That's not
hearing
true.
that side of it. We never ever get to hear the other situations
Which
that
situation?
may come about. Maybe that man wanted to get her pregnant, but did not intend to stay, and she didn't know that.
Stop lying, bro.
Like, I just, it's kind of disheartening to keep having this particular same conversation without considering anything else that happens in the world where women are concerned with picking men and getting pregnant by men.
This one.
I wish I had something better. I really do. But it is extremely exhausting to keep hearing that same narrative over and over and over again. And we don't address what the men are doing or not doing.
We address what men are doing every single day because women get on social media and tell us how men ain't shit. They don't take care of their kids. The same kids they don't want the man to see are the same kids they complain about that the man is not taking care of. They run to the courts. They run to child support. Tell judge, hey judge, can I have 100% custody so he can give me more child support? We see women talk about this every single day on social media. So what do you mean we don't know the side of the story of the women or what women are going through? They tell us every single day. Do you know whose side of the story we never hear about? The man, because usually after a breakup, the man never picks up his phone to trash his baby mama. The man just moves on, maybe child support, maybe jail, whatever the case may be. But for sure, most women pick their phones and tell us how bad the baby daddy they chose to open their legs to was so bad.
I would say that I don't disagree with much of anything of what Bo said. A lot of times we do highlight the fact, what the women did wrong in these situations, and we tend to do it when it's not an appropriate time to. When it's, for example, it's an appropriate time to talk about
Pause.
women making mistakes when we have a conversation about female intuition, because there's way too many single mothers for female intuition to be a thing, for women's intuition to be real. There's way too many single moms. There's way too many women struggling for that shit to be awesome. But in what she's talking about now, that makes perfect sense. There are other situations. There are a lot of men who will go out here and stick their dick in something just because they want to bust a nut, knowing that a baby can happen. And if a man didn't want to have a baby, he would say, hey, Bo, where do you ovulate? Do you track that? Like, he would do more to make sure that he didn't have a child if he didn't want to have one. So I can't argue with her there. The thing that I do think would also hurt women is that if men started telling their side of the stories more, I don't think
Exactly.
women would fare any better.
That's
Because
exactly.
typically, like, the gender war didn't start until men started responding.
That's true.
Before that, it was just, man hating feminists talking about niggas ain't shit, all that, niggas ain't ish, all that type of stuff. But when men started giving their piece, it became a war now. And I don't think
Yeah,
that a lot of time
because women would rather men say nothing. Women would rather men accept them the way they are. Women would rather men don't speak up. Because for the last 30, 40 years, men were just quiet. Men ain't shit, scrubs, they don't provide. They're not providers anymore. Men are not traditional. Men were just keeping quiet until social media.
you
or
ask these
YouTube.
single moms, or if you went and found these single moms, the father of their children, I don't think that hearing their story would help, because now
Exactly.
we have to talk about like how he had to deal with you being insufferable, or he
Exactly.
had to deal with the fact that, like, you were one of those kids in high school who didn't have friends, so you read a lot of books and then have big words to use as like part of your brand now, and he don't want to have a child with that person, or he doesn't want to. You're not going to want him to tell his side of the story the majority of the time. So I think women benefit from only having one side of the story told.
I think this goes to highlight how people are still not moving with the proper intention. They're not moving with the proper vetting, and they're just simply not moving with the proper discipline. Like, we know we're gonna have sex. That's natural, but I think the way that we move about it is what's producing these results. It's like we keep touching the hot ass stove and nobody is saying stop, or people are telling you to stop. And you're like, well, maybe if I do it this way, or because I'm this, maybe I'll get a different result. It's like you can't keep making the same mistakes and thinking because it's a new generation of people, you working now more, you got all of these other factors that's going to change it. It's not. I think if, again, we were more intentional about the people that we brought into our lives, let alone gave ourselves to and developed these broken families with, that we wouldn't even be having this discussion. And if we did, it would be significantly less. I think that Bo made some great points. There are a bunch of uncontrollable factors why we do the things that we do. But the point is we're still getting these results. So we have to have the discussions. I don't think every single mother is just some downtrodden woman that made a mistake with the men that she was with. Again, there are plenty of factors why this is happening. But the general consensus is we have broken families and we have to find a way to stop this. So I don't think like blanket statements and pinpointing certain people. It's like, let's be solution based. What can we do? What advice can we give for the new generation of people that we don't want to see this happen? Because we can talk about people, their situations every day, all day. It's subjective. It's like a roundabout. We're going to keep going. So let's get solution based to speak. What can we do to slow this down or stop this?
I agree. We need solutions. Otherwise, if you think this doesn't affect you, trust me, if a woman has kids and raises kids as a single mom, but they're not good kids because the dad wasn't there to discipline them, you're going to meet those kids in society at some point. I don't know, at some point. At some point, you're going to interact with those kids who didn't have a good father. I don't know how, because the world is small right now. So at the end of the day, until men can take their responsibility and women accept that being a single mom is not strength and doesn't make you strong and independent, until then, we're going to have the same issues.
We do.
Honestly, I think when it comes to this, I think women control the flow of sex.
Facts.
So, and I think men are like the water to the dam, and the women are like the dam. It's like women, they control access to sex. I'm not saying that like men have no responsibility at all. I'm not saying that at all. But I truly do think if women actually took that responsibility a little bit more serious, then things would look a little bit differently. But I'm not absolving men, because I guess technically men could stop being so naturally obsessed with women. But I just think it's natural. Like we talked about the pursuit thing earlier. All this, 3,000 men gonna pursue you, and you pick the one, you pick the two, whatever I don't know how many bodies y'all got, but you pick them. So yeah.
So this particular video, I think the only thing that it highlights is the fact that something that we keep talking about over and over. It's more toward, marry before you carry type of thing. And even though that is something that I do like support, what's exhausting about the conversation is that there's no, like, I would say like accountability on it. It's either men aren't disciplined enough to strap up, or women aren't disciplined enough to not allow them in type of thing. And the fact of the matter is, to be completely honest, it's kind of everybody. It's kind of both people's fault. So now we as women, we decide who has access to our bodies and then thus birthing children. But I know on the flip side of that, men also have to be responsible in what they're doing, their lack of self-discipline, and whom they're dipping into.
That's true.
Unfortunately, it ends up being, from what I've seen, it's married women. It's a way for married women to shame single women who have had children outside of wedlock.
As they should.
And that to me is more detrimental, because
how
it's not it doesn't become any more about teaching or educating. It becomes I'm better than you because this happened.
I'd just like to say that you're welcome. It's clear there's a lot of triggered men here. The good thing is that I'm not planning on getting through to any of you. My point is making sure that if there's any women here who are not used to hearing somebody outspoken, that they hear it and they hear what they need to hear, and they hear it unapologetically. I'm the feminist that y'all hate, right? I'm none of the things that you think that feminists are. And that's what I love about these conversations. You guys assume every single thing you want about me. I'm a baby mother. I'm overweight. I'm single and
Nobody say that.
lonely. I don't have anyone. All the things that I laugh every single time because none of it's true. But I'm never going to disprove the allegations because the point really isn't about me. The point is actually to make sure that women are hearing what I'm trying to say. And I say it succinctly and I say it in a way that makes sense to them. So I don't need to make sense to y'all. And so I'm
So are
happy
you?
that y'all agree.
So
I mean, everyone knows this lady is a feminist, but I don't think anyone said she's overweight. Now, I know some of you guys in the comments have said she's single, nobody wants her, but you guys will be shocked. And she's a nice looking chocolate sister. And I've said this before. Some men who have no other option will deal with the feminists like her rather than being single. Guys, we need to stop lying to ourselves. If there's a man out there who can't do any better, who can't find a feminine, soft, non-feminist woman, he will deal with a good-looking woman like her. I know some of you guys don't agree, rather than stay single. So trust me, even the women you think are feminists, no man will ever want her, there are men who want them, as long as they look good, I'm telling you. And she's not over, she doesn't look overweight.
wait, are you going down the road of Princella by any chance?
No,
married
I'm
with a
not.
husband.
I'm a heterosexual woman. I do not want to.
Now she is one. She just lost the love of her.
That's nice. I don't intend to go down the road of her. I don't.
Okay,
I'm
so
not
I
going
don't
down
want
the
to
road.
get
I'm
off.
just trying to speak to black
What are
women.
you trying to teach women that you
I'm trying
shouldn't
to
be trying to
speak
teach
to black
men?
women. I'm trying to speak to black women.
What are you trying to teach them? Because your rhetoric, from what I hear, that would be divisive to them becoming closer to us. Tell me what I'm missing. I'm open for correction.
Why is it about you guys? I just said I'm trying to speak to black women. Why did
Oh
you
my
bring
God.
yourself
See,
into
that's
it,
a
Kenny?
feminist.
Because
That's a feminist
we're
in
not
her.
I
segregated.
said I'm trying to speak to black women, not black men. I said I'm
Okay,
trying to speak
so
to
the
black
reason
women.
I'm saying that is because we have a divide. So I want to be at the door to hear what you say to black women so I can learn. And if you tell me it's a girl's room only and I can't learn your POV as for why you feel it's so effective that you need to get this message out to black women, I want to know what you're saying. And I think it's fair for me to want to know what you're trying to convey.
That's because there's nothing positive she's saying about she's telling black women to do that's going to bring them closer to black men. She's not going to hold them accountable. She's just going to say, put yourself first, be independent, leave these men alone. The same usual feminist bullshit.
And me putting the name Princella up, I want to know what you're doing. Are you trying to poison?
I'm not familiar with her content. I just know that
She's lying.
we don't really align on what I've seen from her on that one little Jubilee show. I don't know why you're bringing her up. I don't follow.
No,
the
I was
lady.
just giving a comparative because I'm not seeing
I
what you're
can't
doing.
speak
That
on
you
her
said,
because
I'm
I
only
don't
here for
know
the
her.
girls. Because
I
when
don't
she
know the
says,
lady.
okay, when she says, I'm only here for the girls,
Mhm.
she's really only here for the girls. So when I hear that, that's
Oh,
like, okay, let me ask you a question.
okay.
Let me see where your POV is at. And you just told me, mind your business. I'm just here to speak to the black women.
Mhm.
And I'm there like, nah, come
Like, for
cool.
example, right? Like every single time I've spoken, Willie has directed his responses to the black men.
Why do you
Willie
worry?
is here to speak to the black men, right? Willie wants to speak to the black men.
Nah,
He's trying to give
he's
y'all
here to speak
one
to
second.
everyone.
He's trying to give y'all advice. He has said, "Hey, man, don't do this. Da da. Do this. Ignore them. Da da da. Good for him." He said, "Kenny, don't do this. Don't do that. Da da da." Like he's directly speaking to the black men,
Then
which is
don't be
good.
like him.
Let him speak to the black men. I will speak to the black women. I don't understand why we're diving into my side when clearly this entire time Willie has only been speaking to the black men.
So why are you
So
doing what he's
it's
doing?
kind of a similar thing. I'm not really understanding what the problem is.
Can I
Nah,
clarify?
I'm
It's clip time. It's clip time, y'all.
Sorry about
We got a
that.
clip coming up.
Anyway, at the end of the day, pretty intellectual is a feminist, but she's pretty. So again, for those of you guys who think because a woman is a feminist, no man will ever want her, oh my God, she's gonna die single. That's not true, unfortunately. That's not true. She has one thing that goes for her. She's a nice looking chocolate sister. So that alone is enough. And I've said it so many times. Most men will deal with the toxic feminist woman as long as she's good looking. That's it. Because men are all about looks. If she gives them a chance and she's a feminist, because do you know how many households, how many marriages, how many relationships men are in, and they are literally the wife in the relationship? It happens all the time. And they don't care because the woman looks good. But anyway, man, shout out to Lapif. Link down below. Shout out to you guys for the support. Till next time. Peace.